rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start. Physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 143 of the Silverback Blueprint Podcast, De-Clutter Your Life. One of the things I was talking about earlier is how this summer I got to a point where I just felt bogged down. I felt tired. I felt like I was just not getting things done. I felt like I wasn't moving forward. I was just sitting there sweating, for lack of a better description. And then I talked about it a few episodes ago where I turned around and I just sat down and started to break down my day and look at what I was doing and what the demands on my time was. Literally the time of day, where I was, what I was doing, the days of the week and stuff. And then I saw some patterns I had to change. I made some changes, and within a couple of weeks, feeling 1,000% better, for sure. One of the things that I also looked at was trying to simplify what I have going on around me, right? Declutter, clean things up. We attract a lot of things. We collect a lot of things. We have a lot of things to, when you rub a balloon against your head and then all of a sudden you put it there and all your hair attaches to it, it sort of just pulls all that in. I feel we get that way with life sometimes. Things just stick to us and then bogs us down. It's like when you're trying to run through mud and your feet get heavy in the clay and then your legs get tired and it's harder to move and it slows you down, right? It's the same way in life. So when I had that, moment of clarity and I sat down and really looked at things and broke things down as to what had to change, be removed, and move forward, one of the things I started to look at is reducing the things around me that I no longer need, I'm not using, or that are just in the way. And I think it's so important that we do that. I think it's so important that we stop every once in a while and look at things and even just physically look around. What am I using? What do I have around me that's just in the way? Have you guys ever had it where you've tripped over the same fucking thing in your room, like for fucking 2 weeks solid? You just, but you haven't stopped to pick it up. You just, because you're in a hurry or whatever. Finally, one day you're like, what the fuck? And then you stop and you just fucking put it away. Life gets that way. And it bogs us down. It slows us up and drains us. So big on the decluttering. And I think as we get older, we tend to want to do that. We tend to want to just purge things. But the first thing I think is important is we start to reduce the noise around us. We need to remove ourselves a little bit. Again, I'll go back to the morning ritual when it's quiet. Spend that time, that hour, quiet. Hear yourself think. Hear yourself breathe. If you close your eyes and you get really quiet and you just listen to everything around you, you'll start to hear things you didn't realize that were there. We start to filter out certain things. There's so much noise around us, so many things coming at us that we're missing a lot of things. Everything we need is around us to do what we want to do, to achieve the goals like we talked about earlier. It's around us. But if we don't slow down and stop, we can't take it in. We can't see it. We can't realize the opportunities that are around us because there's too much happening around us. The phone's ringing. The kids are fucking crying. Your wife's throwing shit at you. It's pretty hard to sit down and come up with a game plan for the next day when all that shit's happening at once. Sometimes when I'm training people and we were training kids, we would have parents sort of stand off to the side and then, we're trying to coach them and parents would start yelling stuff and all that. So one day I walked over to them and I asked a couple of the parents, the loudest ones, I said, hey guys, I said, what do you do for a living? And one person was an accountant and the other person worked for the government. And I said, how much work would you get done if I had 9 people standing in your doorway shouting things while you're trying to get your things done? And it was cool because they stopped for a minute and they realized what I was saying. They wouldn't get a lot done. So take that out, and use that just in our everyday. How much are we actually getting done? And how much of it are we actually dealing with just the clutter, the noise, the things around us. You know, there's a thing out there that says, you know, when you look in your closet, if you see something you haven't worn in a year, you're not going to wear it. Get rid of it. Declutter your life, your mind. We have tons of t-shirts, right? Obviously with Hostile. Tons of t-shirts. And I love every one of the t-shirts I've made. I went through my shirts one day and I had something like 160 plus t-shirts. And I said, this is crazy. I should have 200. No, you know, I sat there and I said, you know, I love them all, but I'm not wearing most of them. So I got rid of a bunch. It wasn't easy. I just sat there and really looked at it and said, well, that one really is a favorite. And that one I still like to wear. And that one I can't wear anymore because it's falling apart. So out of the 150 plus t-shirts, I kept 20. 20 of my all-time faves. And I told myself it's going to be okay because in a month I'll have 5 more because of the shirts that we're always doing. But you know what? A lot less space in my closet. A lot less place in my a lot less space. A lot more space. In my closet. More space in my dresser. Less laundry to do. It's not waiting until there's 60 shirts in the laundry basket to go do it. It's waiting until the laundry basket's half full and doing laundry. But you know what? That's a lot less daunting. Plus, I'll sit there and say, well, fuck it. I don't need to do laundry. I still have 48 more shirts to wear. But then you get nothing, and then it's like, you know, a Saturday of just laundry. And when you're wearing 3 and 4X t-shirts, that's a lot of laundry. But just going around and purging and just minimalizing, you know, things at home. You know, there's shit in the fridge that shouldn't even be in the fridge. There's shit in the fridge now that's poisonous. Get rid of it. There's a lot to be said for opening a doorway and looking somewhere and seeing concise, clarity, clean. It's one of the rules I have in my gym is that you're not allowed gym bags on the floor. Because I can't stand that fucking clutter. I don't have a lot of rules in the gym. That's one of my main rules. And when someone joins, I specifically look them in the eye before they fucking sign a contract. And I said, I have a couple of rules. One is you sign in. Number 2 is there's no gym bags on the floor ever. We have cubbies and walls that you can put stuff on, but there's no gym bags. And most people get it, or most people have heard of my rule. Some people go, and I'll walk in every once in a while and I'll see a bag. I'm like, and I'll be fucking honest. I just like, whose fucking bag is that? Oh, sorry, they grab their bag and move it. I can't stand that clutter. I like the gym to be clean. I like there to be plates where they're supposed to be. So when you walk in, you can get a great workout and it looks cool. And it's efficient. It's no chaos. I want the gym to be like a Zen place for people where they can come in and they can have great workouts and they can push themselves. Not have to worry about having to find 2 fucking 45s that match. And while you take off for the second one, someone jumps on the bench while you were gone. To me, it's super important. At the end of the day, it's about cleaning up the clutter around us. Making things smoother. You know, I recently moved my t-shirt operation where I do my printing from one location to the other. And one of the reasons why I moved it is because it wasn't efficient anymore where it was. It was great for the last couple of years, but the problem was I couldn't get to it during the day because there was another business operating in there. And then I realized I wasn't printing till late at night, and I was skipping printing because I was tired tonight. I'm tired tomorrow. Next thing I know, I'm behind. So I found a location that I can go into 24/7. So we moved in a few weeks ago, and since we moved in, I've been there a couple times during, you know, I think 3 times last week and 2 times the week before, right in the middle of the day when I have time, got in there, organized a few things, printed a bunch of stuff, put it in a box and walked out. Oh my God, so much more efficient. To the point where I'm excited. I want to print another design. I want to get things going because it's easier. Because what would happen was I'd have a couple orders I'd have to fill, or I'd come up with a new design I want to do, and I'd be excited about it. Then I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't go until 11 tonight, and I'll be there till 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning because I'm so far behind. Well, who the fuck wants to do that? So I was taking all that cool stuff and shelving it and delaying it because it wasn't efficient anymore. And that's one of the, like I said, I talked about just cleaning things up and organizing my day better and finding a location that made more sense. It was fine earlier on when we weren't as busy, but we're growing. The demand is growing. It's great. I'm blessed to be there. I'm excited to be there. That's what all the work is for. But then I was getting in my own way. We need to declutter and clean things up. Another thing I did, was it last week? Yes, for Tuesday. I don't know about you, but on your iPhone, it tells you how many emails in the little red dot, the little red circle above your email you have that you haven't dealt with yet, you haven't even read yet. I had over 7,000 emails that I hadn't read yet on my Gmail account. 7,000. That's fucking overwhelming. And then I had another 25,000 that I had read since starting Gmail. And the one thing that prompted is that I was getting that alert from the Gmail account. Your account, your box is almost full. You'll have to start paying. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not going to pay $1 a month. That's outrageous. Who do you think you are? But then I sat there and go, this is crazy. Most of those emails, I don't erase because, it has a password on it. Oh, it's my login information. I'm like, but you know what? If you forget your password, you just say, hey, forgot password. They send you another fucking email. But I just got caught in that weird loop. Oh, and I like what this guy has to say about stuff, so I'm going to read his email later. You know what? I'm not going to read his fucking email later. I may want to, but I don't. So I sat there and I erased all 7,000 emails that hadn't been read. I deleted all the other 26,000 of emails that had been read. And you know what? Most of them I hadn't read. I just marked as read because I got tired of seeing the number. So now I'm down to 0. Now every day, if I look at my phone right now, I look at it, and I'm still looking at it, it says 30. That's how many emails have come in today. So what I'm going to do twice a day, I sit down, I look at the emails. Anything that I have nothing I don't even need, I just erase right out of the gate. And eventually I'll unsubscribe from those situations. The ones I keep, now I create and I use as a to-do list. So before I go to bed, I need to take action on whatever emails are left. I've been doing that for about a week now. Big difference. Big difference in productivity, in getting things done, in moving forward. And my goal is not to let those numbers ever get out of control again. Because I'm not that busy that I warrant 7,000 emails. If I have 7,000 emails coming in that are truly important, that are business related, I've got $1 billion company. I'm not quite there yet. But I'll tell you, when I erased everything and I saw fucking 0, it was relieving. It was amazing, the difference. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. It was crazy. And I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it simpler. I don't even want to change the platform of how I communicate so that if people are opening my emails, it's because they want to open my emails. I don't want to just send emails and they just sit there. That's why I like the podcast platform, because you know what? If you want to listen to me, you listen to me. If you don't, it's not sitting there bugging you all day long. We talked about an episode or two ago about how everything we need to know is out there. All the information's out there. In fact, we have too much information. Information overload. So what I want to do is create content with this podcast that is the best I can create so that people listening to it are benefiting from it and want to listen to the next episode. Now that puts a lot of pressure on you to build better content, but that's okay. I want to make it so that if you're going to take time to listen to one of my podcasts that are anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, depending on what's going on, I want to put some good shit out there so that, it was worth your time. My favorite part of looking at movie reviews on IMDb before, I'm a big horror movie fan, so I always look at the reviews on movies. And I love the reviews that that's an hour and a half I'll never get back. I don't want my shit to be that way. I used to think I wanted everyone to listen to me. I want everyone to download my podcast. I wanted everyone to open my emails. I wanted an email list, 150,000 people strong and that kind of thing. And if it ever grows that, great. But you know what? At the end of the day, that many people aren't going to open my emails. Not right now. I'd much rather have 50 people that open my emails every time I send it, because I'm reaching them and they're getting me and I get them and I have some value to them. It's far more important. And then I want to see that number go from 50 to 75. Right? We look at our downloads every month and we want our downloads to grow, and they're growing. But I want to see them grow consistently. I don't want to have 2,000 downloads in 1 month and next time I have 200. That's not good. I want to see it's 200, then 300. Now we're at close. We broke 700. So I'd like to see that go up to 700, 800. My first goal, one of our first goals, and we talk about as we grow our podcast, is to have 1,000 downloads a month. So my goal is to make the best possible episodes I can and to speak honestly about what I think and what I feel. So that if you relate to what I'm saying, you're getting you're getting a good message from me. You're getting content from me. If what I say just doesn't resonate with you, then fucking you shouldn't be listening to me. Don't waste your time. right? Don't waste my time. I listen to podcasts. I have 2 or 3 that I like to listen to. There's 100 out there. There's 1,000 out there. There's 100,000 podcasts out there. If I hear about someone different, I'll listen to it. If I sometimes see their logo's cool, I'll check it out. But I might listen to it, and sometimes I turn the podcast off after 2 minutes. I'm like, no, that's not for me. But there's 2 or 3 that I like to listen to that motivate me, that give me content, that inspire me, give me ideas. Because I, too, am sitting on a stationary bike or going for a walk, and I need to listen to something, and that's the time to listen to something. One of my favorite things to do when I am printing shirts and doing that, is I love to put a good podcast on. And sometimes I'll listen to a podcast about business, about motivation. Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast about fucking Bigfoot, whatever the mood I'm into, whatever that content need I want to fill is. But I don't have 1,000 podcasts, different podcasts on my phone, because it would just fill up my phone. It would just clutter things up. So what we need to do is remove the clutter, clean things up, find out what's important to us, be consistent with it, but make our life simpler. Put it in such a way, create a day that you have time throughout it to actually stop, close your eyes, and just be able to breathe. If we can do that, then we're going to be in better control of ourselves, our emotion. We're going to have better control of our day where we're moving. We want to go into the day with purpose. We don't want to go into the day reacting to somebody else's purpose, reacting to somebody else's agenda. Because we're just going to get pushed around. We're just like a little boat getting pushed around. We want to go out there like the Freightliner and just boom, we're just moving forward. Get the fuck out of our way. We have to deal with a few things, navigate a few things, but we're still moving forward. But we got to clean things up. We got to make things more efficient so we have the energy. We're not wasting energy tripping over that fucking toy in the living room over and over again because we haven't taught our kids to put their shit away. So at the end of the day, if we clean things up and we declutter and we remove a lot of unnecessary stress and energy expenditure, we're going to have more energy to focus on the things that we want or that are important to us. We'll get more done easier. Guys, that's all I have to say about that for now. Head on over to iTunes. Leave us a positive review, a 5-star rating, a positive review. Head on over to hostelegear.com. Use the code word Silverback. Save 20 pounds. Save 20 pounds. Save 20% on some merchandise that'll help you declutter your life. And I'll talk to you guys later. And as always, work hard, motherfuckers.